Today, Precarious plays
Phantom Brave. Can you think of anything that would fit this style of game that isn't already a game? Or, you know what, no, I take that back. Can you think of something that would fit the Phantom Brave template here? So not like NIS strategy titles. Generally, I mean specifically this gridless, sort of messy, like this. I know that they're all corpsey, but it's a comical pile of bodies that we've got here.
So you mean like a story to tell?
No, I mean just like a property that would fit well here.
Oh, okay. So like an existing piece of fiction that would do well retold in this framework.
Sure. Because, I mean, like, I've got one, just as an example. What springs to mind for me is just professional wrestling, just generally.
Why?
Well, for a couple of reasons. One, because I think this free-form system lends itself well to that kind of, like, this slapstick vibe. And ring-outs.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I could see that.
I think it would be...
And you can pick each other up and throw it, and you can use people to hit other people, and you can use chairs to... You could just replace some of the plants with chairs, and...
So maybe instead of pro wrestling generally... What was it? Ultimate Muscle? That was a brand. No, I'm going to go with something more recent, though. I just want to see Glow.
Glow.
I want to see Glow as a NIS Phantom Brave style RPG. Because I'm thinking about it, whenever somebody...
Well, no, you could get a new cast of characters in every once in a while. I mean, if you expanded it to not Glow, the TV show on Netflix, but Glow, like...
Just as a property.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, you could get a new crew members and so on, new wrestlers.
And I think that one thing I just...
And you would have to confine them to, like, good things in the environment that would fit their character.
Oh, well, maybe not that part. But I was thinking you probably just need to have, like, a base panel. But actually...
I don't know.
No, I think that there are very few things that fit that, like, suddenly an object is a person mold. Really, I think it's like ghosts and ninja are what spring to mind. Actually, I think if Naruto as a series were ever to make...
That was about to come out my mouth, sir.
If they were to ever make a Naruto strategy game, I would want it to play like this. Actually, that would work out really...
You would.
Because Disgaea, NIS, they have really over-the-top attacks.
Yeah.
So I think that it would be pretty cool if they got... Oh my god, is it Namco Bandai? I think that's the publisher. I don't know who the developers were of the the Ninja Storm series.
Oh, yeah.
But you remember how good those looked, right?
Yes, they looked great.
I think that the best thing is that they still look good and will continue to look good for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have to invent a brand new media form. Until VR is perfected and the innovation is the fact that you just get to be in the environment as you watch a piece of media.
Yeah.
Until that day, it should look fine.
It's funny that you lean towards anime because when I was trying to mull something over, I still haven't thought of anything that's really perfect. But Full Metal Alchemist comes to mind.
Oh, but if it would be like...
Instead of confining people to objects, you would just transmute objects into something more useful.
Right,
at the moment.
that could capture the other half, which is the stuff on the field.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be really perfect, but it would, you know.
I think that in particular, though, would benefit from a grid of some kind. It just feels like Fullmetal Alchemist generally
I think so. It
is
does
more
feel
about structure.
I think I think so. That's why I said but it would kind of have to be some kind of anime. I mean, anime is good for this type of shit. Look at that.
Yeah, although that's a top level aesthetic consideration. I think that the systems. What are the systems? So you have a mobile base panel. You have like a mobile deployment center, and then you have a freeform style of movement, and then you have objects on the field that you can co-op.
I think that
You can take for your benefit.
it's not a property, but if you were willing to get really cartoony with it, you could use like the Greek pantheon to do this. So like you summon lesser gods onto the field and have them do your bidding, and they can turn into objects. And I don't know, Greek mythology always sounds like somebody was a little stoned.
That's a good point.
when
see it.
reading it.
Yeah. Like the whole thing was like the running. The subtext is just that it's actually a drunken. Is it Hephaestus?
Hephaestus, yeah, I think it's Hephaestus. Now I'm not sure.
I can never remember.
Is he the blacksmith or the
Right,
drunk guy?
exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is that the blacksmith or is that the party god?
Or is it the same one? Because
I think that Bacchus might have been the drunk one.
Or was he the blacksmith? No, I think Hephaestus was the Now I'm really not sure.
Oh boy.
I'm really, really not sure, and I feel a little bad about it. But
well, I mean, that's not.
But if you were making caricatures of Greek gods and you were gonna play them kind of goofy like they did in Hercules, like I think it would fit. There are enough characters, and the magic is weird enough that it's like, and everything is imbued with some sort of inherent properties that can be used by the gods.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Vanillaware, but maybe there's something. But no, I mean that's basically just the same thing. That would just be like a reskin. So never mind what I was going to say. I was going to say something like Grim Grimoire is pretty close already. Because if they were just
That's Norse mythology, right?
No, that's Odin's Sphere.
Oh, right.
Very, is a very generous interpretation. But yeah, I was thinking. That's also too structured. Every established brand I'm thinking of, the problem is that it always feels too structured. Like I was thinking, like, could you do like a Harry Potter thing with this? So no. Too much school.
Yeah, it wouldn't do for the loosey-goosiness. What about, no. I see the trouble that you're having at this moment.
And not enough lasers. Whatever you were thinking of, the problem is probably not enough lasers.
Oh, shit!
Okay.
Star Trek! You could you beam people down, and they would have to be beamed. You wouldn't have the objects. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. But I think Star Trek is a...
No, hear me out. You have... It's a dangerous Star Trek scenario.
One of those episodes where like
where shit's real, like
yeah,
really real.
like the atmosphere is weird, or like somebody pooped in the sky.
Right, and then
There's a black hole somewhere. Or Q showed up.
let's contrive some sci-fi.
Q pooped in the sky and now
No. So you go to an away team goes to a planet. And there is, it's like, oh, the atmosphere is normal, so everybody takes their helmets off, right? Except for like one person who was busy. Like it's a complete coincidence, right, that they didn't take their helmet off. It's not because they were too paranoid or whatever.
Yeah, they were just like busy checking something on their visor.
Oh, so it's like it's the medical officer, because the medical officer is too busy tricordering the shit out of the place.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, that looks like radiation.
It's like, it seems like everything is fine. And then everyone else just gets seemingly obliterated. Like they get atomized, right?
Yeah.
And then the medical officer is like, oh my god, everyone's dead. And then they figure out really soon after that they didn't all die. They just got eaten by nanites. And then they've lost communication with the ship.
Yes.
And then they have to go through the environment, and you can use something in the environment to reconstitute people temporarily from their nanite form.
They could just use the teleporter. They could be trying to use the technology from the teleporter to reconstitute people's shit.
But then why don't they just leave?
Why don't they
have to. I'm cutting them off from their ship on purpose.
They would be using things on the ground, probably from their shuttle. They would probably be using their shuttle's transporter.
Well, what if not the transporter? Don't do the transporter.
Okay.
Use the replicator. What if there was an onboard replicator?
And they were trying to hack that to somehow use to reassemble the correct things, the correct bits that make up their crew.
Oh no! Wait a second.
And then it like wouldn't work all the time.
I think that you were closer than I was. I think having them have access to a teleporter is important, because the teleporter can keep track of people's I think that the show skirts around it as well.
They have a word for it, but I don't remember anymore.
But their soul, like their the copy of what makes a person unique.
Their
right?
bits, their themness.
Yeah, their consciousness. So, I think that you have to have a marriage between like, this is why we still care. They're still in a state adjacent to life.
Yeah, so they'd be stuck. And you would need help from them. So you would have to reconstitute them to help you solve problems.
Yeah.
And it would only last for so long.
Before whatever object they were inhabiting just became unstable and like, turned to mush, maybe?
Yeah, I think
there's something here.
Yeah, I think Star Trek could figure it out. I think some writer on Star Trek, of some Star Trek, gosh, there's been a whole lot of Star Trek. Yeah. Considering the sheer volume of Star Trek that has been written and performed in the history of Star Trek, I'm sure somebody could figure out how to make it make sense. As far as being stranded on a planet and using some type of combination of being isolated from the ship, being vaporized, and needing the teleporter's technology to help hold people in place long enough to help. I think that could be done. And then the loosey-goosiness would be like still cool. Because there are some things.
Hi, Greg.
There are many things on Star Trek that are just a little bit strange. They go a long way to pretend to explain a lot of things, and then Q occasionally shows up and is just like, nah. Here we are. You don't get to know.
Thanks, new best friend. The werewolves, you don't know this about them, but they're always down for a double team.
Okay.
I mean, we just saw it. He just woke up, was like, hell yeah. I'll turn on my ally, and then went straight back to sleep. I can't blame them. I too am always exhausted after a good double team.